Hey everyone, welcome back to Food, Wine, and Whiskey in Your Own Backyard. I am Rob, and tonight joined with Carter and Dave Scott back on the show. How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing, Rob?
Doing great, man. How are you, Rob?
Doing good. Carter, we might need to go ahead and let everybody know that I think it's official. I mean, it's up to you, but I think you're going to join the show and be a co-host on Food, Wine, and Whiskey.
I feel very honored. But yes, unfortunately, everybody out there has to listen to me like on the regular. So
on the regular now.
Yeah. But anyway, hey, look, I'll try my best.
Okay, so this is going to be something that I think we'll try to do when we can, and you'll understand when we can here in just a few minutes. But the title of this little series will be, I guess you called it the Fresh Crack episode.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of fun to open up a bottle for the first time.
Especially this kind of bottle.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking whiskey today. Now, there is rumor in the whiskey world that there's something called a neck pour. But
I'll take it.
Hopefully we don't get that. I'll make sure that I tip the bottle.
Yeah, flip the bottle upside down,
so we don't get that.
Now you've got a butt pour.
Yeah,
yeah, there you go.
But yeah, I think we've got a really exciting bottle to try. And I've always been a fan of this particular whiskey.
Well, and we've had different vintages. I'll use a wine term there.
Yeah, there you go.
Different years of this release, and I think we're all big fans of this.
Absolutely.
So there's no reason to delay. You provided the bottle, Carter, so thank you very much.
You call it out.
Yeah, you get to call it out.
Okay, fine. So this is the 2021 release of Michter's Barrel Strength Rye. It's coming in at 106.2 proof. And I acquired this not retail. And I can tell you that right now we have in our glass the 16?
The 16 of this.
To kind of prime ourselves for this fresh crack.
And 16 was thought to be a really good vintage. So,
I
say vintage. A really good year, a really good release. So I think, getting that on our palate, kind of having that as a reference to really kind of judge this, I mean, being a little tough on it. We're going to really see if it holds up to what's thought to be really good.
I agree. Full disclosure, I love rye. Like, I'm a nut for rye whiskey.
Well, not only rye, well, I think more ryes are higher proof than not, but higher proof ryes as well.
Barrel proof-ish offerings of rye, that's totally my jam. So I'm excited about this. I've actually had this bottle for the amount of a few hours.
Oh, it just came in today?
Since it was delivered to my door.
Oh, wow.
So I am excited about opening this up and trying this. Now, Dave, you're a fan of rye, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
And this is one of my absolute favorites, the Michter's Barrel Strength.
And I haven't opened my 19, but you've opened yours, and you think it's.
Yes.
I mean, you think it's probably a little better than the 16.
I've tried it side by side with the 16, and the 19 is
delicious. Okay,
they're all delicious, but I think the 19 has a slight nod to it, a little bit sweeter, I think.
Now, wasn't it Perry who was on our show last week? We did an episode from This Is My Bourbon podcast,
Right?
And I had thought for the longest time, and I thought he had said that he was under the understanding that Michter's is now making their own distillation, that they're no longer sourcing. Isn't that what he said?
Now, I don't know. I don't know that to be factual, like 100%. It might be. It may not be. I really have no idea.
I don't either. For the longest time, I always thought it was sourced, but nobody really knew where they were getting it from, just that it was really freaking good. MGP?
No. We'll talk off air because I did hear from somebody in the know where this is sourced from.
Okay.
So, which I'll tell you, you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Okay. All right.
But anyway, if you ever meet me out and me and Rob out for a drink, we'll tell you. But I don't want anything on like concrete evidence that I'm letting the cat out of the bag here. But
hey, you had to figure it out. Make the people work a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
So they don't state where it's from. They don't have an age statement on it or anything like that. All I know is as good.
It's damn good.
Now, typically they're between 110 and 120, and I haven't even looked at the 21. What's the proof on this?
This is 106.2, so it's a little lower.
A little lower. Okay.
I think like some of them been like a 110, 112, you know,
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
and I said 120. I think it's probably more right up to about 116. I think there's a couple that were like 114 point something, 116 point something.
Yeah.
That's about as high as I've seen.
So, I mean, hey, let's just get into it. Everybody got an empty glass or no?
Hold on.
Okay, all right.
This 16 is very nice, but
Oh yeah, it's a pretty lady. I'll tell you that much. But okay, Dave. So quick question while we're sitting here like finishing our pours and everything. What are some of your go-to ryes that you know are like?
Okay,
I've got
I've got
what I want to go to.
Are we talking about like this that are somewhat in that, very hard to find / unicorn type of rye? Or are we talking about what's your go-to rye that sits on your shelf when you want a good pour of a rye, this is what you're going to get?
I think I'm talking just in general, anything.
Okay.
What are some of your favorites that you've had?
well, I would say one of my absolute favorites and regular go-to, which I'm in search of a bottle right now, is the Pikesville.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I've found a couple bottles. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it. But I look every store that I go into, and it's amazing that Pikesville is very rarely on the shelf any longer.
It's not. And the only place out here in Katy that I've seen it, shout out to Longhorn Liquor, is at Longhorn. And I know it's typically a $50 bottle. He usually has it for $60, $59.99. And that's when I buy it. That's usually where I find it. It's saves me from driving all around town.
And I have found a couple bottles at Twin Liquors lately.
Oh, okay.
That are $46, and if you buy two of them, which everything in the store they want you to buy two of. So if you buy two of them, you can get it down to what Specs usually has on the shelf.
Okay.
$42. So.
Well, I will tell you that that is one of my favorite ryes as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pikesville.
Well, I know we've talked about in different podcasts before Rise, and I know
If you haven't heard that show, go look for it and give it a listen.
Yeah, it's Bourbon Rye Not. So it was a podcast we did. So check it out. But what I'd say is everybody here is a rye fan. I did know that. I know I asked you. Are you a rye fan? Right. I kind of knew.
Throwing me that slow pitch softball that I can hit.
The other one I like a lot, kind of in that same kind of class, if you would, is the Rare Breed Rye that came out last year, 112.8.
Yeah, you're a fan
and
of
here in this area, we can find it. I mean, I was just down about a week and a half ago at the local Total Wine, and they had, I think, 10 on the shelf there.
Yeah, I've started seeing it on the shelves now.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be that.
Yes, at first it was every one that it put on the shelf would get bought up, very difficult to find. But like you said, Carter, it's everywhere I go now. It seems to be a regular staple on the shelf.
And I think that's a fantastic rye.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I actually like the Russell's Reserve Rye a little bit better.
The 10-year?
Yes.
I do like that as well.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty quality product.
Absolutely.
And for me, like if I'm gonna something, this is like total secondary bottle. So you guys, don't judge me here, but like something I've had recently, the Kentucky Owl Batch 1 rye.
Well, that's supposed to be fantastic.
It is awesome.
Where did you have that?
Underdogs. I hate to even say it, so somebody's going to drink the rest of the bottle. But Underdogs still has a bottle sitting behind the bar.
So the Kentucky, where are they up to? Like batch 11 now?
I don't even know.
I thought they made their last batch. What's that bottle called?
I don't know.
That's like $300 a bottle.
Confiscated?
Or, they had the dry state. And they had
the dry state was like $1,000, right?
Yeah, it might be.
I think it was $9.99.
Anyway, like this batch 1, it's just
outstanding.
It's awesome.
I actually like Kentucky Owl a lot. I just sometimes it's hard with the price they put on it. I mean, I understand it's a 10 and 11 year rye, and that's not a common thing,
right?
But still, a couple $100 for a bottle is.
The Parkers from
Parker's Heritage.
from last year. I guess it was the 19, the rye. Wow, that is incredible too. So
I'll take your word for it.
yeah, I mean, and the Cornerstone. I think we've all had that.
Yeah,
before.
yeah,
That was a good release.
From the Master's Keep, Jack Daniels, which is and the Jack Daniels barrel proof rye.
Oh
is fantastic.
yeah, how can I leave that out?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Okay, so we've had some good ryes. Everybody here
Now,
has had some good ryes.
Those are what I would call, that upper mid tier to harder to find, like the Jack Daniels and stuff, and obviously the mixtures that we have tonight. But I mean, I like a Rittenhouse, and I know the old
Rittenhouse is awesome.
The Old Forester rye is a solid rye at 100 proof for $25. I mean, when you're looking for ryes, there's some really good values in that $30 and less kind of range.
Oh yeah,
And we had a store pick Sazerac last weekend.
Yeah, and that's
that I thought was very good.
oh.
It is good. The only problem I have, I wish it wasn't 90 proof.
Right.
Yeah. It's a rye. I want it to be a little bit bigger and, don't water it down on me.
I'm with you. I'd say like another rye that I mean, you guys mentioned Rittenhouse, and I'd say Rittenhouse for behind the bar, like at almost every bar, it is the best go-to bottle for like a cocktail of all time.
I don't disagree with that, but
I do like the Old Forester.
I was just going to say, I
do like
thought
that
you
as
were
well.
a big fan of that.
But for some reason, not everybody has that Old Forester rye, but most people have that Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
That 100 proof or 101 proof or like whatever it is. So,
all right, well, fresh crack
let's do the
episode.
fresh
What do you
crack.
say?
all right, let's do it. So we're drinking the 2021 Michter's Barrel Strength rye.
All right, tell me how you pronounce this name. I know I get confused, and I'm sure other people do. Is it Michters or is it Michters?
I just want to lie on the beach and eat hot dogs.
That I don't think belongs there, but
Edit. Radio edit.
no, I don't know how you say it. Michter's.
I thought it was
Michters.
Michters.
I think it's Michters.
Michters? Okay.
I have no idea.
Somebody can correct
Like
us.
Mick Jagger.
Hey,
All right,
I want you to take the neck.
I'll take that.
That's what she said.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Hey, by the way, that's back on the board.
What, the neck board?
No.
Oh, good. Sandra's approved. That one? That's not it either.
I wanted to eat a pig in a blanket.
What is wrong? What is wrong with this
Do
soundboard?
you guys know this show? Do you know this?
What are you doing? I wanted to eat a pig in a blanket. In a blanket.
Any ideas?
No.
The Office or something.
It is The Office.
I wanted to eat
That
a
is-
pig in the blanket. In a blanket.
In a blanket.
That is my man Kevin.
All right. Whoa.
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 You okay?
Whoa. That's a cool bottle. Well, hey. I do like the Michter's. Speaking of that, it is a pretty solid looking bottle. I like that they're uniform.
I think the labeling makes this cool.
I do too.
I like their label.
I like the top of the bottle where the cork goes in. It's all very nice.
It's a nice cork. It's a good wood top. I mean, that's important on a lot of these. I mean, you have a big issue with Baker 7 with the plastic kind of.
God.
Yeah.
Don't. That's another episode, but like, holy crap, they really got super cheap.
That might be a
Cheap
fun
down.
that might be a fun episode. Good juice, bad bottle.
Yeah, because like the Baker's 13.
Yes,
Yeah.
The Baker's 13 cork weighs like 3 pounds. But
that's what I wish. I wish that Baker
Yeah, that's a
7
good point.
would weigh.
That's a
the
good
Baker's
point.
7 is
Looks the same.
right. Looks the same, but
And weighs 2 ounces.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt one of those Masters Keep corks? Those things are like you could kill somebody with that thing. Like it is solid.
Okay, this nose is fantastic,
Yeah.
just so you know.
I think it's actually nose wise blowing the 16 away.
That's what she said.
Yep,
And-
that's it.
and some of Carter's overpour that ended up on the table, I had
Sorry, Sandra.
to kind of lick up, and I can tell you it's outstanding.
Yeah, the nose is absolutely fantastic.
Good color too. I mean, like you hold it up to the
Yeah,
light.
very
It's
dark.
just a nice.
We don't know the
color.
age, but we're guessing, 6 to 8 years on this? 4 to 6 years? What are we thinking?
God knows. I mean, like they're so like they haven't said a
Yeah,
damn
they
thing
keep it
ever
pretty
About
secret.
age or
about
anything?
age or
Okay.
anything
But
on this.
I'd have to agree. I think it's in the 6 to 8 year
I think so, too.
range.
Well, I can say by the nose, I'm into it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm real into it.
I am too. To me, it's
I'm ready to get
I
freaky
get more
with it.
like more fruit and sweetness on this than that spice of a rye jumping out at me. I'm getting more fruit and sweetness on the nose.
Yeah. Wait till you taste it.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Which I kind of like.
All right. Okay, we should give some nosing notes, though, I think.
Well, that's for the bloodhound.
All right. So, definitely picking up the baking spice, but, more pushed back. The
I agree.
sweetness is really coming out.
Yep.
Hair of that rye dilly kind of,
Just a hair.
little spearminty,
Right. I was
that
going
kind
to
of
say
thing. Just
the
hair.
mint, dill. Yep.
Yeah, on the palate, I'm getting the rye for me. What you think of as that rye spice is kind of behind. I get it a little bit, but it's definitely the fruit, and I would say
It's like I'm picking this up now. It's more of a almost like a strawberry or something.
That's
like
what
that.
I was going to say. Raspberry, red fruit, kind of.
Man, that's good, and it's got a savory quality to it. So I guess I say this I say all that to say this is a pretty complex nose.
But I get the fruit, but it's kind of a bold fruit. It's not that thin kind of, light and in your. It's almost like it's a bigger, bolder kind of fruit to me.
Do you think it's the neck, or do you
My
think
neck
it?
core?
Yeah.
Rob was the unlucky one to get the neck core.
I don't mind, boys. I'll take one for the team. I'll take one for the team.
All right. All right. Let cheers to the fresh crack. All right. Let's get in there.
Well,
That's what she said.
boy, it's you asked Carter for that to come back.
This is bold.
Just right off the bat, compared to the 16, as soon as it hits your palate, it is so much sweeter than the 16.
Man, I am super happy about buying this.
Absolutely. I think you got a hell of a deal on it.
I'm glad I got a backup bottle on the way.
Do you really? Or are you bullshitting us?
No, I'm actually serious.
Well, then good. We can have another
That's
pour
right.
and not feel bad.
You know what? I'm a degenerate when it comes to whiskey.
So we're going to put you in charge of the fresh crack segment. Just keep buying bottles and bringing them over.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And you can buy or you can whip out bottles from that cellar, and we can see what aged well and what didn't.
We can do that too.
Same
Same wine, different vintages, compare them.
I think the viscosity on this one is just so much better too. It's like
I
a
agree.
better mouthfeel, you know?
But I'm going to tell you, on the palate, to me, there seems to be more structure and complexity to this one than I had on the 16.
Absolutely.
The oak comes through on this one
A
too.
lot.
Yeah,
And I think that's where a lot of the sweetness on the nose is coming from.
Man.
Yeah, I think the only other bottle of rye that we have close to us is a Michter's 10. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the color of the Michter's 10 and
Very similar.
yes,
So you're right. I think this has got to be 6 to 8 years old at least.
I would think so.
Dude. Okay,
This is solid.
I'm going to steal from Bourbon Junkies. This is a hitter.
It's a hitter.
This is a hitter right here. Very, very happy about that.
It's got a great finish. What I like about it is what is it? Almost 107 proof, 106
Yep.
point something.
Yep.
106 proof.
And it's nice on the palate. It doesn't burn you up on the palate, but it has a great finish that lasts. I mean, I'm still getting that Kentucky hug right now.
Super balanced.
Yes, very much so.
Super balanced.
This is a very well-made whiskey right here.
This is a home run. This is good.
Very good. If you see, well, you're not going to see it on a shelf,
No,
but
you're not.
Buy
but
it secondary.
yeah, if you get a good, full disclosure, I paid double retail for this.
No, you didn't. Oh, you did, didn't you?
Yeah, I paid double retail for that.
Yeah, you did.
bottle.
To your door.
To my door.
Yeah.
Delivered to my door.
Through an authorized dealer.
Authorized dealer, obviously. I'd say yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a buy.
I would agree.
I don't mind overpaying for something and trying it, and I don't advise anybody else to do that. I do it because I just want to, and I'm a freaking nut.
Degenerate.
Yeah, that's right. This was worth it.
Yeah,
This is 100% worth it.
I would agree.
So, yeah.
Okay. We need to eventually come up with some kind of grading system. If we're going to do bottles like this, I mean,
What do you say? Like 1 out of 5? How many bourbon
stars?
beauties this goes for? How many gold stars?
yeah, we got to come up with something
We do.
because we need to give this a grade. And some of these bottles that we review might be secondary grade because we know that's really where you're going to find them. Is it worth it on secondary or not? And that's kind of how we need to grade this one tonight. And some bottles might be on your shelf that's just a new release, whether it's a Baker 7 or something else, the Jim Beam single barrel.
Yeah.
And then we just rate that based on. So we need to have some kind of rating system.
Should we have a reverse rating system? Like a drain pour being like, like a 5, and, like a non-drain pour being like a 1.
What? But for this episode, we'll keep it simple. And I will just tell you that, obviously, if you saw this on the shelf at retail for $80, $90, buy the son of a gun.
You better buy it.
Buy multiples.
And if you can get it at secondary for $200 or less, buy the son of a gun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Or as Matt Porter says, the son of a bitch.
Oh yeah. This little elusive unicorn here is pretty freaking good. If we're going like, on a
And this is once a year, the release, right?
Yeah. I'd say like if we're just doing like a 1 to 5 scale, and 5 being the highest and 1 being the lowest, I'd give this like a 4.5.
Absolutely. I was going to say 4.5.
And as far as like a price grade, anything under $200, I'd say buy it.
Absolutely. And for me, it's always, just like wine. I don't care what you pay for it. That doesn't determine quality. And we always judge wine on quality, what's in the bottle. And I think whiskey's kind of the same way. And then you have to equate, take that versus what they're asking you to pay for it. And is it worth the quality, what they're asking you to pay? This, to me, I agree with you guys. 4.5, 4.25, 4.5, fair score. This is definitely worth, the quality is definitely worth what they're asking you to pay for it, $200 or less.
Yeah.
I would say up to $200.
Yeah.
Anything over that?
Yeah, I mean, that's too much.
Absolutely. Unless you just want to have it as a shelf display and that's what you're into. But if you're going to drink it, up to $200, I think it's fair.
I agree with you. If you're running a vertical because you bought,
Right.
every year that they've released them.
Right.
And I think this is they didn't release one in 20, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they did.
They did?
I have one.
Okay, what was the year they didn't release one? I thought there was a year they didn't release.
18 maybe?
Maybe that's what it was.
I don't know.
But anyway, this is if you're chasing a vertical or something like that because you're collecting, then yeah, you're right. You maybe go.
Don't you have more than one of these, or was it the toasted barrel?
Toasted is
Toasted.
Gianna's. That belongs to Yana.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. My wife's name is Yana, by the way.
Yeah.
And she really, really likes
Toasted barrel
mixtures
strength
or
rye.
mixtures. Toasted barrel strength rye.
Yeah.
So
That's her jam.
I get to drink it once in a while. That's her bottle.
But only when Yana's drinking.
Yeah. She shares with me, and I love her for that.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I'd grade this extremely high, and I'd say, if you have an opportunity to buy it, buy it.
Yeah, it's great on the nose, great on the palate. I mean, when some whiskeys you have and you go, it's not great on the nose, but the palate and the finish is awesome. But this, all three, what I call,
Very
areas
complete.
of grading a whiskey, the nose, the palate, and the finish is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm all in.
So instead of going to every liquor store asking if they've got Weller Antique, you should probably be asking if they've got the Michter's barrel strength rye.
The only problem with that is they're more than likely in Texas to have Weller Antique than this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that's a good review, a fresh crack on Michter's Barrel Strength Rye 2021. See it on a store shelf, buy it. Don't be an idiot.
Insta buy.
And if you can get it on the secondary, if you play in that world for $200 or less, definitely a buy there as well.
Yep, no doubt.
Guys, that was fun.
Let's do it again.
Onward and upward.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode of Food, Wine, and Whiskey in Your Own Backyard. And until our next episode, enjoy your next pour.